Welcome to today's episode of Moment with the Fathers, live with me, Matilda Motto. And I have with me here in the studio Reverend Wisdom Kumahlor. He happens to be the resident minister for Parish Chapel International, Koforidua branch.
Yes, please.
Well, Reverend Wisdom, you're welcome to my studio.
Thank you very much.
We're grateful having you here. We know your life is going to be a blessing to whoever is listening and watching us this evening. You are welcome once again.
Thank you.
Now, let me drive straight into your life. I want to know, who is Reverend Wisdom?
Okay. So, Reverend Wisdom is a lot of things.
Tell us.
Yes. I'm Wisdom Kumahlor. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
And I'm the resident minister for Parish Chapel International, Koforidua branch, which I recently, was posted to.
Okay.
All right. So I was in Kumahlor,
Oh,
and then I was posted to Koforidua.
okay.
Yes. So I'm married, with an incoming child.
Whoa.
Actually. Okay. So, all right. So that's just me, for now. So I'm
For
just a
now.
resident minister.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe
Okay.
going forward, I'll
You will
say
tell us a
things.
lot.
Yeah.
Well, tell us, growing up as a child, Wisdom growing up as a child, how was it?
In fact, it wasn't a nice experience.
Oh.
All right. Anytime I'm asked to talk about some of these things, I become very emotional.
Why?
Because my childhood was not a nice one.
Whoa.
Okay. My parents, never stayed together
Okay.
due to one or two challenges. Okay. So at the age of 4,
Hmm.
my mother left my father.
Whoa.
In fact, I wouldn't want to say that or say, okay, but it was one of those things. And so
Yeah.
my father, took me to my grandmother's place.
Okay.
So I've been doing a lot of roaming.
From one place to
You
the
stay
other.
here a little, you
You
stay
go to
here
the other
too,
person.
So my life was just a roaming,
Oh.
something. But all the same, by the grace of God, we are where we are.
Oh.
Yes.
So tell us about your educational background growing up. How was education? Since you kept moving from one place to the other.
Exactly. So because of the movement,
Mm-hmm.
my education was very much delayed. Okay, so some of the times you are in probably primary 6,
Mm-hmm.
you go to another
They
place,
say
you have
no,
to
you
go
have
back
to
to
five.
P5, that kind of thing. And so it took us a long time to finish to actually.
Finally.
Yes, and my journey on education,
Mm-hmm.
after I was done with JHS,
Okay.
I think this is where the story starts from.
Okay. We would want to know. My viewers are, in fact, eager. They want to know.
Yes.
Yes.
So-
Probably it will be a blessing to somebody
Okay.
who thinks he has gone through a similar thing
Okay.
and is almost giving up.
Okay.
Since you did not give up, it will help the person not to
You,
give
you
up.
can't afford to do that.
Exactly.
All right. So what happened was, right from GHS, I was done with GHS, and I finished on the day I finished my last paper.
Mhm.
I couldn't find my mom, couldn't find my dad. It sounds very.
How? What do you mean you couldn't find them?
So it's like we went for a camp meeting,
Uh-huh.
or let me say a camp where we were learning. It's like all students were gathered, so we
Okay.
all went left house to go and learn, and then right for that week.
Okay.
And so after my paper, I came home, and my mom had packed out and left the house. Looks strange, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And I left a message to the tenants in the house that, okay, so when my son comes,
Tell him.
tell him this, tell him that.
What?
All right. So my things were left in the room, okay, and my mom was gone.
Whoa.
In fact, she left for Kumasi
Okay.
to look for a job.
Okay.
However, she couldn't communicate that to me fully.
Personally. Probably it was very difficult for her to personally do it.
Well, there's a lot of explanation to all this, but she left, and my dad too, at a point had a lot of challenges. He wasn't in his right position, okay, because of I don't mention that mistake. He he was nowhere to be found at that moment when I needed him actually. So I was torn between where am I
Where are you
going?
going? We're going back
I
to
mean,
Granny.
and the fact was the rented place where we were, in fact the rent had
It
expired.
was a rented apartment.
Yes, in fact it was expiring.
Wow.
So I think maybe a month,
Hmm.
and then the whole thing expired. So now I have to pack up.
To where?
That's the question. So when I was in school, because of how I'm very close to teachers,
Okay.
I was a good student.
Whoa.
Actually, yeah,
That's nice.
we are relaxed.
Oh, that's
So
good.
a lot of teachers used to like me.
Okay.
They liked me a lot. In fact, a lot.
Hmm.
So I was able to.
And you
get,
look very calm too.
Okay. If you say so. So I got one teacher who was very good to me,
Hmm.
and then he was like, "Okay, you can stay with me."
Wow.
And wherever he is, I thank God for his life.
Yeah.
He's called Nanato Brasimon.
Okay.
He took me up like his brother, like a father. Took care of me during that period.
Hmm.
All right. Still, I had not heard from my mom. Okay, so I'll stay with him. Even for my teacher, he was also staying with the mother. But however, it was a big house.
Okay, so he could share his room with you.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it got to a point now, it looks like the mother was very comfortable because I was also there because, a whole lot of problems. So
Oh.
I had to manage myself and be there.
Yeah.
Okay, so respectfully, you need to do all the stuff in the house,
Of course.
just to gain some trust and
and love,
favor.
affection.
Exactly. So eventually we ran a lot of errands, so many things. All right, and now it was time to go back to secondary. And I got, funny enough, I got my school, which is Ghana's.
Okay.
All right, that was the school I got, the placement.
Hmm.
But because mom and dad were not around, I don't know where I was going to go, so
Yes.
I had to now go and then look for my own school.
Ah.
Yes. Usually the story when I'm sharing it, I feel I remember all the pain.
Yeah, you could picture the whole thing all over again.
Exactly. I walked down to Accra myself. Those days in Adabraka. Okay, and then I went to look for my own school. Okay, so the school, the name of the school is Raleigh Senior High School.
Okay, Raleigh.
Raleigh Senior High School, yes. It was then at Adabraka.
Okay.
And then I went there to see the headmistress. And then
At
but
your
the
age.
headmistress is late now.
Okay.
All right, and then the headmistress was like, he looked at my results, saw that I was a very good student, and I wanted to do business at that time.
Okay.
He said no.
You should do science.
Miraculously, he took me to science class, just like that, and so I was in science class.
Oh, wow.
So I did that, and then, I was asking myself, how am I going to pay my fees, everything. God does a lot of things mysteriously.
Exactly.
Trust me.
Exactly.
I'm an example and in fact a
Of
testimony
God's
to
faithfulness.
God's faithfulness. Seriously. And so I got a lot of favors from teachers.
Wow.
I don't know how God did that, but a lot of teachers.
He has a way of taking
I
care of
don't-
his own.
I don't. God did a lot. Trust me. And so many teachers could even give you their ATM card
Huh?
for you to go and cash money for them and all that. That's the
Wow.
level I got to.
Of
all
trust
right?
you had with
Exactly.
them.
Exactly. And then they helped me do many things.
Wow.
Okay. So some of the times they want to sack school fees.
Mm-hmm.
They look at me and say, where are you going? I'm like, okay, I've been sacked school fees. And in front of me, right in front of me, teachers contribute money
And give to you to go and pay your
and give to me
fee.
to pay.
Wow.
I mean,
Isn't
it
God
was-
lovely?
It was a great experience I had those periods. Okay. And I was a very quiet type this time. I wasn't talking, So that has been the journey. And now I completed secondary.
You have
Fast
to go
forward.
to tertiary.
I have to go to tertiary. And then I'm fast forward because a lot of
Exactly.
things happen along the way. But and then I came back home. Our results came. Passed very well. I wanted to read medicine, but actually,
Medicine.
those things are here, so I couldn't get the medicine. And so what happened was I had to now look for a job. because I can't go to university
Yes,
straight
yes,
away.
yes,
So
yes.
I looked for a job. That was a teaching job.
Okay.
So I taught for maybe 2 years. Yes, I think 1.5 years. To gather some money,
So you could go to
so
the
that I will go to
tertiary
the tertiary.
institution.
In fact, I did that.
Hmm.
But it got to a point I saw that the money was not enough
Yeah.
to do whatever it
To
is.
take care of everything you
Exactly,
need to.
exactly. So I had to really work hard. But one day, I don't know. I always say something told me, but it's not something. I think
It
it's the
was
Holy
God.
Spirit. I just woke
The
up
Holy
one day.
Spirit whispered, right?
Yeah. I woke up one day and said, I'm going back. I'm going to school.
Wow.
So with the little I have gathered, I went to school. Paid my admission, paid everything. And I had UCC, so
Wow.
I went to Cape University. Yes.
University of choice.
My God. Some call it constant confusion.
Constant confusion.
I tell you, that place,
It's
you
serious.
need a lot of discipline to be there. Okay, so
You can't try it with laziness.
I went there, and in UCC, the program, I couldn't read medicine, so I got medical lab science.
So you're still along that line.
Yes. So I read medical laboratory science back in UCC. And yeah, fast forward, that one too was a little challenge. I wasn't having money, things like that. So when I back, like in
On
terms
vacation,
of
find some work to do.
I come back to where I was teaching. The headmistress was good.
Oh, you met a lot of nice people.
In fact, I called
God
them.
planted them
I
your
called
way.
them angels.
Yes.
Yes, God sent me men.
Exactly.
And Madam Frida was good. Sometimes your salary, you can even increase it for you personally. Yeah, okay. I know you're in school. Take it.
Isn't that lovely?
I've met quite
a number of nice people.
God did a lot of things. Yes. So when I come back, I teach. I get some coins. I used to do extra classes. As for that one,
Marvin.
I do a lot of extra classes. I used to stay at Pokwase, sorry.
Okay.
And Pokwase, there's an estate called ACP estate.
Okay.
So I used to have some rich folk around.
Then you teach
their
them
children,
and then pick up some money.
You go do blah 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 blah. There you go your way. But we did the work very well. I'm good with children too. So
okay. You were
when
able
I teach
to.
you must know. So in fact, when I teach you everything, you must get it.
You can't afford not
because
to.
how are we been doing?
You would understand
You would
it.
understand it. Yes. So many of the kids used to like me a lot.
Okay.
All right. So I think that was an advantage. So I gathered quite a number of coins. Like I used to
And
say,
then you go back the second
I'll
semester.
go back to the second
The
semester.
second year.
Like that.
The third year to the end.
Until level 200. And my mom returned from again.
Wow.
But when I go back the second semester in level 100, and then I came and she was home. But she told me that she has rented another place, so she's back in town. So
If you come check up on her.
So immediately I went. And now the whole story started. Trying to explain to
So
me
why she left at that time
she left
without
at that
a
time.
word?
Exactly. And trust me, I don't know how it happened, but
You forgave her.
I don't know how. I had missed her so much.
Oh.
Like God, I even forgot that.
You were happy she just came back.
Trust me.
Oh.
So I forgot about all the stories behind the whole thing. She was so proud of me.
Of course. Where
was
she
so
left
proud.
you off
Trust
and
me.
where you had gotten to. I mean.
All this period, my dad was around it.
Oh.
I know where he was, but
But he was not around.
the effort couldn't meet whatever it is.
Whoa.
It's one of the stories when I share. That I think God used that to
Yes.
let you
Probably to
understand
give you
some
a
things.
testimony so you can use it to bless somebody today like we are doing.
Exactly.
There are a lot of people who go through similar things. They don't even know where to start from. They get so confused that they give up. But trust me, Reverend Wisdom is telling us today not to give up. Because he had gone through a similar thing. And God was there every step of the way. He actually planted people his way to help him. What can't he do? God can do basically everything for you. Just trust in him. And let's get more from Reverend Wisdom. So, were you born into a Christian home?
No, please.
No.
In fact, my dad is an Ewe, okay?
Okay.
And my dad got born again not long ago.
Whoa, by you?
I didn't lead to Christ, but someone did. But he actually got born again not long ago. He used to do other things. And when he gets to our hometown, that we have all the,
all the stuff.
All those, In fact, I used to have a stepmother who was the daughter of a fetish
priest.
Yes. So it had a great effect on my father. All right.
Okay.
All right. So, but however, the woman died along the way, and that was the period the breaking started, where my father, came out of the hospital. Okay, started going to church and all that. Okay. But I believe that actually through prayers, some of our prayers actually it worked. Make that possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you were not born into a Christian home, where did all this idea of becoming a reverend minister?
Yeah.
How did you conceive it?
That's a big question. In fact, I didn't know I'll be sitting here today. That I'll be addressed as a reverend minister. I never thought of that either. In level 200, that is when I got the call. Okay. So I came to Perez Chapel not long ago, I think in 2012. Okay. And I went to campus, by schooling and doing other things. I went to campus ministry. They made me the prayer leader.
Okay.
I was prayer leader for 3 years on campus. I completed school. Okay. If you are not good, they will put you there for 3 years.
After the first year, you have to move for somebody else to come.
But they put me there for 3 years. Okay. Wow. And basically, I think that's what happened on campus.
So how was that first encounter? How was it like when you first heard whether it was a voice or whatever it was?
I used to pray. Okay. We have a field called Transport Field.
Okay.
Everybody knows that field.
Okay.
I used to go there. My hostel is at Snake Hostel. It's closer to the park. So I used to go there at dawn.
To pray.
Pray. All right. I pray a lot.
You really want to go back?
In fact, I know where I was coming from, so I had to.
You wouldn't play with your prayers.
Hey, Charlie, who did you grow?
Hey, I grew up with you.
So I used to pray a lot, and then on the field, I used to have a lot of encounters. At this time, it was very audible.
Okay.
Yes, it was very audible that I was going to get into ministry, and not my own ministry. Okay. But I have to follow my bishop. That's Ajinasai.
Okay, so in your encounter, you were told categorically
not to start my own church, which I could have. All right, and would have worked. Yes, but that was not a call. The call was to follow. All right, so basically,
and it was specific,
very specific. All right, in fact, before I had not even planned of becoming a pastor. On campus already, people were seeing me as Ajinasari already.
Wow.
I'm like, what's it about me that looks like Ajinasari?
No, a lot of his pastors, I think the addressing and the way they handle themselves, when you watch them from afar and you know the man, they look some way, somehow like him. Except you get closer, then, it's not Papa, I mean, it's probably a son.
It got to a point, even a lot of people used to have encounters about it. They say, okay, so they've seen that in a vision, I'm on stage, or they see Archbishop on stage. But when he turns and then he looks at them, then it's my face.
Whoa.
So many encounters. I don't know, maybe some of the ladies, if that's what they were using to get me, I don't know.
Which lady?
I don't know. But I think that was some of the encounters I used to have on campus.
Whoa.
People used to prophesy, tell me after school how things will be in my life. And they have all come to pass. Trust me.
So in your case, you actually had encounter yourself. It was not a senior minister who sort of had a vision and told you you're going to be a man of God. But you had it yourself.
Yes.
And you stood by what you were told in that vision or whatever encounter it was.
Exactly.
So how did you start then? From school, the second year?
So
how did you go about it?
That's when I began to take campus ministry very serious.
Okay.
So I used to.
So back on campus, you were attending Paris.
Yes, we have Paris campus ministry.
So that's where you were before
Yes.
you had the encounter.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
level 100 out.
So you were already in his ministry,
Exactly.
like his church.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. But not long.
Okay.
So I didn't even know much about the church itself until I. So in level 200, that is when all the whole thing started. Then gradually they made me the organizer for a network of prayer directors on campus.
Okay.
All right, all the prayer directors. So I was the one organizing them. In terms of the fact that when we have a big program, maybe like the Archbishop Duncan Williams is coming. Okay.
You have to
So if you have
rally
to pray
around.
for the whole campus, I'm the one who have to gather all of them,
Okay.
leading and all that. You know. So we've done quite a number of things.
Yeah.
Coupled with all these things, I was reading medical lab. It's
Oh
not
yes,
just-
you had not completed school. You were still in
It's not a
school.
joke.
No joke.
And on top of that, I was a program rep.
Oh.
So every course, I'm the course rep.
Hmm.
I did that for 3 years, from level 200. 400.
Continuously.
Yes. That was student leadership. We've done some. You know, and sometimes you go for lectures at 6.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do write pieces at 4:30, 5:30. All right. And all these things, I still go for my clinicals in the hospital
Okay.
at 2 p.m. So sometimes I can get to my hostel around 9 p.m.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's how tough campus was.
Wow.
However, I was still in this class.
Very well.
Yes. And I passed. In fact, after school, I did my service
Okay.
at the Military Hospital.
Wow.
And I wrote my licential exams. I passed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was working with 37 before I came to time.
So as it is now, you are into full-time ministry.
Yeah. So I'm in full-time ministry. I started full-time ministry 3 years ago. That was in 2019.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me take you back a bit.
Okay.
After school, when did you go for your Bible school and all that?
Good. So after school, when I was doing my service,
Mm-hmm.
I was still going to Bible school. All right. So when I closed from, I scheduled this with my bosses at
Okay.
work
Okay.
that I had evening school.
Hmm.
Okay. So I go for morning shifts
Oh, okay.
and close and come back
So
in
you
the
get to
afternoon
go-
so that I can go for my evening classes. All right. So I did evening class continuously for 2 years.
Which Bible school?
Perez Ministry
Okay.
College.
Okay.
All right. Now Perez Ministry College.
Okay.
So that's where, but in Accra.
Okay. So how was Bible school life like?
Like, everybody must go to Bible school.
Whether you want to become pastors or not.
Hey,
We should just go.
Just go to Bible school.
Why?
It gives you a lot of, it widens a lot of things, your understanding to many things. Okay. It's not just the reading, but the fact that you understand how the history of the church is and how things were. You see, you need to understand all those things. Some of them you can't find in the Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you learn it in that perspective, they give you assignments. You are researching. You know, it makes you learn a lot of things.
You appreciate a lot of things.
You need to go to Bible.
Really?
You will enjoy it. But you know, a lot of people have a call where they don't go to Bible school. I'm not saying that it's wrong, okay, but when you go to Bible school,
You get to learn a lot.
Good, exactly. We have quite a number of pastors who know what to Bible,
Yes.
but they are still doing well.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. So it's okay. But I think I like the fact that I went. To
You
Bible.
went. Yes, it actually opened your horizon.
Good.
You got to learn things you did not know about.
Exactly.
And probably you might not know
Yes.
if you didn't go there. So it's okay. It's a plus for you.
If I did my master in Cameroon, because 2 years in Bible school is like master.
Hey, master's in you.
So I took that like my masters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and by the grace of God, I finished.
So after the 2 years,
Yeah.
were you ordained immediately?
No.
So
In
how does it
fact,
go in
my last
Perez? How
year-
does it go? After Bible school?
Let me give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
My last year in Bible school,
Mm-hmm.
I was posted to Aflao. So I used to do weekends. I traveled to Aflao on weekends, preach and come back.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that for almost a year. It's not a book. I travel every week. for a year.
Flower and bar.
Yes, every weekend. So I go do that, come back, come to class, you know, all these things. So I was just running the whole thing like that. And then, you know, in Paris Chapel, when you complete your Bible school, you need to apply. So if you want to become a pastor in Paris Chapel, you must apply.
Like you're looking for a job.
You can finish Bible school and be going about.
And so you apply like you're looking for a job.
Yeah, that's what we go.
You
So,
can't go for an interview.
I look at the number. So when you apply, you get the forms, you apply, you send it, and then now they set a date for interview. Before you go for interview, you must write a test. They give you some of the books of the Archbishop. You read, and then you write a quiz. When you pass the quiz, then you go for interview. So if you don't pass the quiz,
you can't go for interview.
You don't go for interview
until you pass the quiz.
So when you pass, in fact, when you miss that quiz, then it means that next year.
Oh, once in a year.
Oh, but it depends. It depends on the missions office, how they run their thing. They can decide that okay, they will do 6 months. It depends. It depends on the number of people that have been gathered. You know, and they do it that way. So when you pass the test, you go for interview. When you go for interview, you can lose. You can lose the interview. Maybe you fail. You can fail the interview.
And if you fail the interview, what happens?
Better luck next year. Yeah. Because you see, well, it depends on the organization. If they really want you to, it depends on your strength. If your strength is good for them as they perceive, then
your strength as in what? Your spiritual strength?
It depends on
any
strength. Maybe you have the strength for leadership. You have the strength for building. You have the strength for spiritual aspect. Maybe that's what you can but that's just by the way. But some of they have some criteria they check. All right. So the interviewers know what they can ask.
What they are looking out for.
Yes, to know whatever they want to take out of you. So you can fill the interview, and they will decide that okay, we don't.
So luckily for you, you passed your interview.
In fact, as for me,
at the first sitting,
I'd already started the way. I was in Aflawo already, so
okay.
So,
before you went for that interview.
But however, I still passed the whole thing. So, but even at the interview, well, maybe I think I failed at the interview.
Why do you say that?
Because there were certain questions probably I couldn't.
You did not answer well.
Yes. You can't be perfect.
Of course, you might not get all correct.
So in fact, I was told that so the way I was answering some of the questions were not right. Those times we were still baby pastors, so some of the things you see them. You know when you're young, you see things.
With energy.
Yes, they told me no, don't do it like that.
You have to do.
So over the period, we learn.
Yeah.
We learn. This is where we are. Okay. So I passed that interview, then went back to post.
Okay.
Right. So I was in Aflawo for I think 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah. But in Aflawo, the problems were a lot.
Tell us, we want to know. Ministry work comes with its own challenges.
In fact, the pastor then that was in Aflawo, they took him away to Bakofe.
Okay.
All right, and then I went there.
You went to replace him.
I replaced him at Aflawo.
Okay.
And the conditions and the shape of the church was not in a good shape. Trust me. No minister who will leave Accra, leave his job, and go and be in such a place.
No.
When it rains in the church,
you have to close.
You remove your shoe and step in the water. In fact, the place is such that there are potholes in the auditorium. The water comes out of the ground. All right. And so it wasn't a place that really. Well, the first when you get to the place, when you see the roofing sheet alone of the church,
it's enough to put your.
You won't go to church again. And I when I got there, I saw my Archbishop's signboard, in front protected, and I'm like,
so it's true that
this is not Archbishop. No. Something must be done. So immediately, quickly, I had to start looking for a land.
Okay.
Okay. So I got a land. And then we started building. this in 2 years. So, in fact, we had a little help from the missions office. That is from Joe, and then they helped us get the land, in payment of the land and everything. Give us something little to start
To
a
start the
structure.
foundation or
Yeah,
structure.
so we started the footing.
Okay.
Right? And then we got to a point in the roofing.
That is
they
where the
helped us.
wahala is.
So the blocks and everything around the building, that one the church had to do it on their own. So we did it on our own. And by the grace of God, I finished that building before leaving the place.
Wow.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I finished that building with the help of God. We did my office, facing my office.
Now you have a beautiful edifice for God.
Exactly. And bought instruments for the church. You know, maybe there were quite a number of work to be done before I left, though.
For somebody to come and
I
continue.
think majority of the things, major
done by
ones
you.
were done by myself and a few other people. So that is the story. Kumahlor.
So when did you finally go for ordination?
Yes,
Tell us about your ordination.
my ordination was a miracle. In fact,
Are you a miracle child?
I don't know. In Parish Chapel, okay, it can take you like 5 years or 7 years before you can be ordained, because you need to prove your ministry. Okay,
Yeah.
but in my case, I don't know. In fact, the day of ordination, I was in part.
Whoa.
Maybe a day before ordination, I was in part.
A day before.
Okay, so the ordination is tomorrow,
Yes.
and today my name was not on the list.
But you knew you were supposed to.
I didn't know. So it was around somewhere around 4 p.m., 4:30, 4 p.m. Yeah, and then the administrative bishop called me. I was like, how come your name is not on the list? I don't know how it happened, but it was like I should go and tell them they should add my name. Yes. And then I went straight, and then they added my name.
How? But you were not prepared for the day.
Immediately they told me to get my clerical, and that tomorrow I will be ordained. Yes, that's what happened. And then the next day, the ceremony started. Yeah, I was sitting in. And they ordained me. Trust me, the people they were ordaining me with, they are grown people. Though. And so that day I was like, what's happening? I didn't understand that till now. Trust me. Because I think I wasn't even 2 years in the ministry when I started full time.
Yeah.
I wasn't 2 years. And that does not happen usually.
It's not a norm.
No. It was even the administrative bishop was telling me that it took him almost like 7 years to be ordained as a reverend. Yeah. So I think probably, I don't want to say I'm the luckiest, one of the luckiest ministers.
God has a lot of work for you to do. So he's actually maybe he's keeping some of the processes for you so that you can really do more for him.
Yeah, I think so. But in Kumahlor, the people, I think I met no more than 15 people in Kumahlor when I went membership.
Okay.
But I left the place, I think we were almost close to 70 people.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. All those of the public honest.
Oh yes, that
You
is
go-
what
you go
church
check.
members do. Today I'll come. Tomorrow I'll come. So that you too you will come.
So I didn't spend too much time in Kumahlor. I think 2.5 years, and then I was out of the place. I was just being transferred like that.
Back to so it was from Kumahlor straight to
So to
Koporidua.
Koporidua, yes. So I was in Koporidua last year, November.
Are you so you took over from who?
Reverend Dankon.
Oh, okay.
Took over from Reverend Dankon.
So tell us about the ceremony, the ordination ceremony. I know you had short notice to even think through, but how was the feeling?
In fact, we were supposed to pay some money for the ordination.
You again.
I think that was how much was that? I think 600 or something.
You again.
And I had to control the money that day.
There and there.
I didn't know my share, but I had to get it, and then I paid, and then the next day we went for the service. In fact, even the suit I was wearing, I had to borrow it. Because the truth is that I traveled from Kumahlor. I came with a kaftan.
Okay.
You know, I didn't have the mind that I'll be ordained, so I was just attending the ceremony as a pastor.
Only to be told
Only
that
to
you
be
are
told
part
that
of
I
them.
was part of them. So I have to now look for somebody's I wish I would show you a picture of that.
See it, eh?
Oh, oh, Bola view.
Sambola Vikra.
But however, I took a picture. I took a picture with the Archbishop. So,
Okay.
it looked nice. It looked nice.
It looked nice, right? Big man.
You know, someone suit. You know, but I think that has been the journey. And then I was here in Kumahlor.
So how long have you been in the ministry? Like, let's say, not full time, but when you started at part time through to this time, how long has it been?
Oh, maybe 4 years.
4 years.
Yes.
So what has been some of the challenges so far? Apart from your members running shifts, what else were some of the challenges?
A lot of challenges.
You know, it's disheartening for a reverend to really prepare to come and bless his people only to get to church and meet 10, 15 people.
Oh, for that one. You did a certain hard for that one. You know.
So what are some of the challenges?
I don't see that as a challenge, okay? Some of these things, the tough things you have to understand that ministry is not for, you know, I used to have a lecturer who says ministry is not for double. Okay. You need a certain heart for ministry. Not with a mindset. You don't miraculously wake up and you get to church and the whole place is filled up. No, it doesn't work like that. You need to put in hard work. You must visit the people.
Do you know that some of them you have to even go in the morning?
Yes.
To remind them that
exactly.
this morning is church.
You know, some of the people you can even visit them, call them, and send them a text, and you still know. Yes. You see. So I think the greatest challenge in ministry that I have faced is working with people. Okay, people are not faithful and truthful to the core. Right. So most of the times you end up doing everything yourself. That has been the challenge. Because our generation is such that everybody wants to sit and be watching.
Yeah, we all want to be spectators.
Yes. So over the period, you see many of the young people, they just sit down. I mean, they come to church, we close, and they are out.
They are gone.
They doesn't even ask how things were done. Okay.
He's not interested.
So I think basically, as for challenges, there are a lot of them. Okay. But for now, I think that would be the greatest challenge, working with people.
Yeah. So if you would have to advise a young pastor who is going through some of these challenges, what would you tell the person?
I'm a young pastor.
What will you tell them?
You know, one of the advice I give to people every time as a young minister, be sure of your call.
Okay.
You need to be sure of your call. Don't look at the flamboyance of ministry, where you see people wear kaftan, hold iPad, hold iPhone, and you think that is how your life.
That is it.
Okay. We have a lot of prophets. You know, they look at all these things. You're not a prophet. Some of them are my mates.
Yeah.
You know, and you see them and they want to join the chariot of our fathers.
Exactly.
But you see,
I don't know where they started from.
No. There are certain chariots you can't join. You see, Philip had his own chariot. Wait for your own.
Yeah.
Stop jumping into other chariots and stop behaving as if you are Elisha. You are not. Okay, so we have many people, their life has become like Gehazi. Okay? Instead of being like Elisha. Okay, so it's a whole problem on its own. Okay, when it comes to ministry with the young people, especially when it is too much directed. Yes.
And you are headed for something else.
So most of the time, the only advice I give to people, why not just be a second boss instead of always wanting to be the
you
first
see,
boss?
most of them want to like be founders.
Okay.
All right.
Why is that?
Probably so that you call Papa, Daddy, and you know all that, the wife, Mommy, and all the respect is given to him.
Okay.
It is when he's not there that you see the other pastors.
Sometimes
so he doesn't want to be other pastors. He wants to be Papa.
You can function as a number 2, and it will be okay. But you go and find. You see, I have a problem. I think my being in Aflao and then in Kumahlor, I've noticed that a lot.
Okay.
How can you be a bishop? So you're having 15 in there. I don't understand. So you see, we have all these people around having all these big names.
Title.
Actually, their ministry is something else. So it is necessary to understand that you are not there. Okay? So follow.
Yeah.
The
Also,
main
your time is
purpose
due.
of our call is to bring men back to God. That's the main focus. Are you getting the point?
Exactly.
So if your focus is to bring men back to God, why do you want to form another ministry? I mean, or that one your own to gather more people more than me.
Yes.
So the thought alone in going into ministry is wrong. Are you getting the point?
Yes. Some are not ready to understudy anybody else.
So follow. I've been telling people God is not going to have any covenant with any man anymore. Are you understanding?
Why do you say that?
Because He has already given us the covenant to other people. Abraham, He gave the covenant. There are a lot of people He gave covenant. You see, so God is not going to call you and say that, Charlie, I'm coming to destroy the world with anything and this. No. It's not going to happen. Okay? So what we have to do as young ministers is to follow. How do we follow? Follow what the other great men have done. That is all. Now wait, people are waiting for another great move. That's what I've been hearing people say.
Another great move.
Yes, great move. Where those in the 80s when Brother Charles and the rest were having encounters, and people explain that. We have a lot of history about some of the things. People see a lot of things, and they go like, okay, so we too, this is our time.
They're going to be moving greatly.
And the things from Azusa Street will happen in our days. But you see, what we are failing to do is that we don't want to follow. Okay, so people like Joshua, they follow.
Yeah.
Joshua, when Moses was on the mount, he was waiting for him. He was there, 40 days, not 10.
Patiently.
Our days there, no.
We want everything in a flash.
Or no,
We won't let there be.
So my advice is that young people, I think in our generation now, I think we should follow. Yes, it's more important because I don't understand why we should have a lot of churches when it's still the same focus. Okay, well that's me. I don't know.
Well, of course, it makes sense anyway.
Yeah.
Except the person is saying that his vision is quite different from the main vision.
What's the vision?
I don't know.
If we are all following Christ,
maybe you have something else. Except
you see, there are certain people, there are certain men. Okay, you can never cast, or you can never say that you are bringing them down. That man, example is Dr. Mensah Otabil. That man, Reverend is with another.
Yeah.
You know all those names.
Yeah.
Archbishop Duncan Williams,
yeah.
Our own father, Archbishop Charles Adinasa. These are men God has given to this nation. Okay, we need to follow. Springing up and moving out to start your own ministry doesn't make you powerful. It doesn't make you. I mean, there are certain people who have started churches, and I wish they would just close it down.
Why?
Yes, because there's nothing.
Nothing is going on there.
So it is one of the challenges. I don't know, but if young people are listening to me and they are in ministry, what they should do right now is to follow. Yeah, that's what.
At least you follow and learn. When you think you have learned enough, and your papa says that, seriously speaking, God says you should break away. Why not? But if you don't learn and you break away, what are you going to teach the people you're going to be leading?
But you see, many things have happened along the line in terms of church history. All right. We have a lot of people. The main reason why we have a lot of churches actually is because of certain doctrine. All right. That's how come we have a lot of sects around. Okay? It's even part of the reason why our cousin things like that happen. So it is one of the things that we need to watch in this generation so that we are not misled. There was a time something happened and Dr. Mensah Otabil went to say some things and and then people were trying to explain and all that and blah blah blah. Now, if you go on Facebook, everybody has his own to say. All right. But you see, we need to sit down and listen to the point of view where the man is
coming from. Why he said what
why
he
he said
said.
what he said and all that. Hey, people said things so.
Well, but you know Ghana now.
So
We all have our opinions.
exactly.
And we definitely express them.
And it's one of the things that I think that I don't know. Maybe going forward, maybe the fathers will help us to do, because the direction to which ministry is going, I think many people are moving away. Yeah. Our perception and our idea of being in ministry is wrong.
Yeah.
So you see, you get a church and people are not thinking about the church. They are not thinking about the people. Their mind is not the people, not the souls.
That is not the reason.
He wants the flamboyance.
With the names, the titles, Uyoji.
Yes.
No, tell us about your office. And which of the offices do you operate in? Are you a teacher, you're a prophet, are you an evangelist, or you have a blend?
That question here, I don't know how to answer.
Are you a prophet?
No, please. I am not a prophet.
You are not OD. So what are you?
I'm not a prophet, but when I can prophet, I have the gift of prophecy, but I'm not a prophet.
Okay.
You get
yes, I understand.
So in season,
the fact that you have the gift doesn't make you one.
Good.
Yes, we have a prophet, and we have you haven't
right in the office of the prophet.
Yes,
but I have the gift of prophet.
That is where the problem is.
Yes.
People have glimpses of being a prophet, and they think they are prophet. That is where everywhere they are flooded everywhere.
To whom you need to why you pushing?
I know man can realize in the name of prophetic directions.
Mercy. Yeah. So I think that I'm called to be more of an apostle. All right. Yeah. I think that's right.
So what do you do as an apostle? Tell me.
As an apostle, what we do is that we plant churches.
Okay.
Okay. We help stabilize churches. Okay. Such people are people who build. Okay, to stabilize the church, and then maybe later a pastor will take care.
Okay.
But you see, in our setting as Ghanaians, everyone is a pastor.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's it.
Everyone is a pastor, but we have different giftings.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, is the duty of the apostle, right, to plant the church, make sure it's stable, then he hand it over to the pastor for him to feed the flock.
Yes.
It means your duty is different from the pastor's duty.
Exactly. But we have been made to do all these things together.
You're a pastor, you're a teacher, you're a prophet.
So God has given us the grace to do. You get the whole thing. Yeah. So I think that's the way to go.
So are you able to operate in the other ministries as well, apart from maybe the bit of the prophetic, more of the...
In fact, with the ministry we have been called to do, and where we are, you have to do everything.
Everything by yourself.
Yes.
However, learn to do everything.
However, you don't fake it.
Okay.
At least you have no sin. Don't say you have sin.
It's not by force to see.
No. So we work as an evangelist. We work as prophet. In fact, I think I do a good teaching. I do teaching.
Okay.
Sometimes I think I do. I think.
You think?
I think I do. Yes. And I'm a pastor. Also, I care for the sheep a lot. I visit them.
You visit them,
I visit them. My members, they are watching. They know I've been.
They are watching. They have to keep sending their messages so that we see whether you've been visiting them.
I know, right?
Yes.
Right. So yeah.
So tell me, how does church planting go? I look at it as if it's very difficult. Probably because I have no idea how to start, where to start from. So tell us, if you want to plant a church, how do you go about it?
Church planting is not good.
It's as difficult as I'm thinking, right?
Yes.
So how do you go about it?
Yes. So when you want to plant a church, first of all, you need to scout the area where you want to plant that church.
Okay.
A lot of prayer must go into it. So in our church, if they want to plant a church, they don't just wake up and they go and start. No. They need to do that scouting.
Okay.
Then much prayer is gone into it. We pray a lot to know that actually where we are going is where we have to. You understand?
Okay.
Then you get a place. Usually those days they used to do it in classrooms.
Classrooms, yeah.
But now you can use a hotel or something. If
you have cash and they have a conference room, why not?
However, the person we are taking there must be somebody who is more evangelistic in a way to gather people.
Okay.
as at that moment. But usually they used to send people to help you.
Oh, okay.
Gather the people.
You wouldn't have to do it all.
But they are not staying. When they finish, they all go back to So I think that experience is in Accra, where if you are going to start a church, they add some team
to help you out.
Yes. Now when it is okay, then they can come back to where they are. Yes. So planting church is something that is not, it involves a lot of money. You need money. Money is very important in ministry. Trust me.
You can't do ministry. You can't do ministry without money.
So you need money to make sure some of these things are done. Because if you want to have an outreach, printing flyers is money.
It's money.
Everything
money. You do is money.
Oh yes, everything is money.
The sound systems you'll be needing.
It's money.
Everything is money.
Because sometimes there are people who even come and sing. You need to give them something. Especially if they are not from your church.
Okay. They are not part of your choir. They are just coming to help you
now
do a crusade or something.
Invited you You see. So you have to get all these things from.
This oil and high purchase, man.
Yes, so I think that's it. So you need a lot of. In fact, our way of doing or planting churches, usually our archbishop will go to a place and do a crusade.
He himself will go and do the crusade.
Oh yes, in the town, do a crusade.
Okay, to sensitize the people.
Yes, see, after the crusade, the people that accept Christ as their Lord and personal Savior. So we gather them and then started.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Over the period, I think most of our churches, that's
how it goes.
It goes.
Because if I actually lead you to Christ, and probably it's my preaching that touched you. So if I'm saying I'm meeting here tomorrow, it's just prudent that you come and see what I'll be doing. And if they like what you're doing, they stay. So I think his crusade style, it really would help.
Oh yes. Yeah. And he holds crusades.
And a lot of people have heard about him.
Yeah.
They've seen him on TV. So if you've heard that he's coming here today, sometimes you might just want to go see him, like get a glimpse of him. Oh, I have seen the man before.
I know, right?
So you get to accept Christ, and they're like, you're meeting here. Why not?
I know, right?
But it makes it a bit simpler, because in fact, I've been thinking, planting a church, how do I go about it? But it makes it a bit simpler.
Well, it's not simple like that.
It's not too simple, but then at least he has given you a stepping stone.
Yes.
And so you're going to be building on that.
With all these things, there are a lot of groundwork you must do.
Yeah, yourself.
You can't just
before he comes in.
Exactly. So, in fact, when they plan the crusade, it's a serious thing. It's not a lot of
it's
money.
No joke.
A lot of money goes into the crusade planning. Trust me, it's not a joke. Our own father, Apostle George, does a lot of crusades. So
yeah, he does.
Here, so you understand. He
does a lot of crusades.
And I want to acknowledge him for giving some of us the opportunity to be here today.
Yeah.
I've known him for some few months.
Okay. Since he came to Florida.
Okay. But he's been a great support.
Yeah.
A great support.
He's also enthused with the work of God.
Yes.
I mean, he does nothing else except
my recent, I had a call with him the last time. I think when I came to Florida first. I was like, going to Sugakope. I'm like,
what are you going to do?
Said they are planning some crusade over there. I'm like, wow. And I see that he's really working.
Oh yes,
yes. Apostle George is really working. Yes.
Yes.
Because we have a ministry in such a place where we are as it is right now. A lot of groundwork must be done. Yes. And people like you, make it possible.
Oh, really?
God bless all of you.
Amen. And God bless you too for accepting to join us today. We are really enjoying you. Your life.
And I like the fact that young people like you, you are making the work go well. God bless you so much.
Amen. So tell me, before you prepare your message for probably a Sunday service or one of your major services within the week, how do you prepare your message?
Because I'm under ministry, okay, and our Father has a lot, it's like they have created a path for us.
Okay.
Our dear Archbishop has a lot of books, a lot of subject matters.
Okay.
So usually what happens is that we have the book. So in a month
Yeah.
Like in this month, we are in a month of leadership.
Okay.
We have a lot of books on leadership. Okay,
Yeah.
15 keys, ingredients,
Mm.
for effective leadership.
Okay.
It's one of the books I'm using.
Mm.
All right. So if you want to prepare a message, all you have to do is to read a book. In fact, you must read from cover to cover to know what's in the book.
Understand what's
All right.
in the book.
Then out of the book, you can prepare your message.
Your message.
All right. So you must communicate whatever is in that book well in your own language.
Is it very difficult preparing a message?
Hey, sometimes it can take you like 3 days.
Yeah, preparing one
to prepare
message.
one message. It's not a joke. Because you need to make sure that what you are going to communicate really gets down into the minds of the people. All right. Sometimes you are preaching for 45 minutes and you can prepare for maybe like a week.
Yeah,
Yes.
for just that 45 minutes.
Oh yes. So usually, because of Wednesday teaching, Friday prayer, Sunday service. So like today, start preparing. But after today, I'll not. I'll do
You
it
start
tomorrow
on
morning.
Monday.
Monday. So I think that's what I do. So I use the books and then I prepare. However, I have other books. Not only my Archbishop books. I have other books. Yeah. Great men of God.
You will be telling me about your first experience when you ever mounted the pulpit. But let me pick a few messages and then you tell me about that.
All right, that's okay. That's okay.
I have Ama Destiny. God bless you, Miss Matilda. Thanks, Destiny. I'm grateful. Destiny again. Keep pushing hard. Caris TV. Can't wait to see this program live on satellite. Oh, sweetheart, pray for us. We'll get there very soon. Benji, young Benji. Beautiful and cute Saimoto. May you be blessed with impossible blessings. Keep shining up. Thanks, Benji. I'm grateful. Reverend Wisdom is from Benji again. Reverend Wisdom, you indeed a great man. May God bless you with endless blessings.
Amen. God bless you. Amen.
Destiny again. God bless you for such a wonderful advice to us, Reverend Wisdom.
Okay. Bless you too.
Wow. Benji is really getting very interactive with us. Yeah. Wonderful, Destiny. I'm really enjoying. Thanks, Destiny. Akustia Jiman Botre. Yes, so she's also enjoying the program. I love Caris TV. It must go viral. This is young Benji. Big ups to Sister Matilda Saimoto and Reverend Wisdom Kumahlor. I'm really enjoying the show.
Wow.
Thanks, Ben. Wow, this program is really a heart-touching one. Mwah. Thanks, Ben. Yay, my sister is here, Sister Evelyn Ado. A good program, but I wish it could just be shown live on TV for everyone to be able to watch. Of course, my sister, keep praying for me and I'll get to the big screens, okay? But I love you so much. She's watching us all the way from Nkwanza.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's my big sister. She's watching from Nkwanza.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm grateful, Sister Evelyn. And Akosia Jiman again, God bless you. Bless you too, Ako. Ohini Mama Efia Inshira Oforiata. Janice. Hi, long time, Matilda. Yeah, it's been quite some time. I'm grateful you joined me today, Janice. God richly bless you for joining me. Yes, Reverend, tell us.
Okay. About.
How was your first experience when you ever mounted the pulpit?
I think my first experience mounting the pulpit, I've mounted the pulpit several times, but to preach.
To preach as a minister.
It was in Bible school. In Bible school, we have a course that we need to
you need to
learn how to preach.
Okay.
How to your mannerisms on pulpit and everything.
Okay.
Actually, when you're preaching, you're not supposed to be moving up and down a lot.
Oh, really?
In fact, it's one of the things that every minister
yes.
Me like this, I can't stand one place like that.
Almost all of them.
But you see all these the other churches, the Protestant church.
Yes, yes,
You know
yes.
they stand
Yeah, they
place.
stand in the
Yes.
pulpit and they don't move out until he's done.
You understand?
So he's restricted by that pulpit.
Oh, that's how it's supposed to be. It's not like they are restricted, though. That's how it's supposed to be.
Really?
Yes. So there are a lot of things that we learn.
Mm.
You see, that's what I was telling you when you go to Bible school. It's okay. Your mannerisms.
Yeah.
There are certain words you don't repeat too much
Mm-hmm.
when you are preaching.
Okay.
You don't keep saying amen, amen, amen. We learn all those things. So
Okay.
you don't keep saying, like when you repeat it, like when you are repeating it, amen, and amen. One time, amen.
Amen.
It makes people. I don't know how time maybe that.
Maybe
So you see, we have a lot of things that we do. But my first time on stage,
mm-hmm.
I think it wasn't that bad.
Really?
To me,
were you able to master the crowd? But the crowd wasn't that much.
Oh, just the Bible school.
So just the students. Okay, so you are used to the students.
But my first preaching was in Applaud.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I used to do campus ministry. I do a lot of.
But that one you knew you were not a pastor, so nobody will hold you responsible for anything.
Oh, I lead crowds of big ones.
Okay.
Oh, there were times Archbishop, Nicholas Duncan Williams came to our campus, and I'm the one leading the prayer.
Okay.
Sometimes he hosts like a crusade.
Mm-hmm.
We are the ones who lead the prayer.
Oh, okay.
So after standing in front of a big crowd,
used to the crowd.
I'm used to that. But preaching,
mm-hmm.
in fact, my first preaching, I wasn't even told to prepare a message. That was the first day I went to Applaud. I was going with the administrative bishop. We were just in the car, like, well, you're quite not preaching.
Ah.
And it was the month of love.
Whoa.
And in fact, fortunately for me, I had a message on my phone.
Good for you.
Yes.
You were saved by the bell. Yes, you should always have at least one message.
Yes.
That is ready for consumption.
And when I went, I preached. When we finished, we were coming in. The guy was like, "Hey, and I think myself. I felt, hey, did I really do well? That was a period we were trying to start. I wasn't. But when he said that to me, immediately it gave me some confidence.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think it was okay. My first experience was okay.
That's okay. Okay, so over the period, looking back to that day when he took you by surprise and today, have you seen a lot of changes?
Okay. Now I can, in fact, if I don't even prepare a message,
you can still preach.
Happy. It comes by a lot of study.
Okay.
When you are constantly when you keep reading the Bible, okay? When they give you the microphone, that's what can be Pastor Wachu and Pastor Wachu, because you have
so much to share.
Yes.
That you're not even looking at the time.
Exactly. That's what happened. So much study. That is how come I like our Archbishop, because he times himself.
Okay.
That's how come our church we love to talk with them. By 2 hours we are closed, because everything
is time.
It's time. Okay. So if you don't time yourself,
you would talk and talk and talk and never finish.
Oh, you talk. So I think it has helped me. So we don't preach more than 45 minutes.
Okay.
Actually, you can do 1 hour, and that's the maximum.
Okay, the maximum cry is 1 hour.
1 hour. Yes.
Okay.
So by 45 minutes, you're done.
You're done. Wow.
All right. So that's
okay. So let's go more into. Let me ask a question. Have you had any regrets so far becoming a minister? Have you had any regrets? There are times you choose a profession and then you go like, oh, I wish I did not do this.
No, I don't have regrets.
No regrets at all.
No.
No, looking back.
Maybe because my call was very direct.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was not somebody who told you and you kept doubting it.
Nobody told me that I go and do it, pastor, go and be a pastor. No. Because I had an encounter, and that is where I was going. All right. So I think I don't have regrets. In fact, the truth is, why would you have regrets? Okay. Well, there were times the devil was talking to some of us that, okay, why would you leave your work and go?
After all these years in school.
Are you serious at all?
Are you okay?
and voices keep coming. People keep telling you, are you normal?
Yeah, come on.
Now, are you okay there? There was a point, even my mother was like, Who will I waste time go to school for all these years?
And then
Write my license. No, license, yeah, easy.
and that form, sir.
Hey, you may pass the plan. But I passed, have my certificate, I have my PIN,
Everything.
everything.
And then
Yeah, my PIN,
down.
my PIN code, I think it's with me right now. It's in my pocket. You see, so you can't just say, yeah, why? No. As for me, I think I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm not regretting.
Okay. Let's delve into another very serious
All right.
area: marriage. Marriage and ministry. How do you blend the two?
It's not been easy actually. In fact, even before marriage, because as at the point when I was my wife, who was my fiance,
And your fiance.
yes, she was in Accra and I was in Kumahlor.
Okay. So you're doing
So
distance
the whole thing, yes.
something.
So I've been doing distance for a long time. You know, she's working with a real estate company, so
Okay.
you know, I'm not ready for her to stop.
She has to be there.
Yeah. So she's there, and then I travel to visit most of the time.
Okay.
But I go every week.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I can't stay away from her.
Really?
It's a young marriage, and I don't want to
Yeah.
take those risks. So I think and she's very understandable. Yeah, and I love her so much.
Oh, she loves you too.
She makes things very easy for me. You know, you can have people that is married, and although they know you're a pastor, but they don't give you that peace of mind.
Not at all.
Yes, but my wife, I think, gives me the peace of mind.
To do the
You
work.
know, no pressure, nothing. You know, but when she misses me out.
You have to.
So it has been a little challenge for me, okay. But I think going forward, when we have grown to what God wants us to grow to, then now we can let it come to where we are.
Okay.
Exactly.
So, in choosing a partner as a reverend minister, what are some of the things you look out for before choosing your lifetime partner?
Commitment.
On the part of the lady or
On the part of the lady. Commitment. Faithfulness.
when you say commitment to what?
Commitment to God.
Okay, her commitment to God.
Yes.
Okay.
And commitment to your service to God.
Okay.
See, when you are going to get married, if you don't have a lady who is committed to the things of
Oh
God,
God.
trust me,
Don't even start.
you can't be a wife. You know, so it's not necessarily having a church girl. No. You can have people who are in church, they are in church, okay, but you know, they are
They
not.
still don't understand this whole issue
Exactly.
of being a pastor's wife.
Exactly. So you need someone who really understands where he or she is going.
I always say that marrying a pastor is a ministry on itself. You would need to understand the ministry of a pastor in order to be a good wife to that pastor. Because your coming in can really bring him down. And it can also shoot him up like that.
Exactly.
So if you know yourself too well, and you know that, look, there's no way I can marry a pastor. Don't just say yes because they'll be calling you mommy and all that. No. Just explain to the pastor, please, I can't. Because of A, B, D. I can't be a pastor's wife.
You want to marry a pastor?
You know, it's quite difficult marrying a pastor. That's how I see it.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think so.
You know, today Friday is better. You used not to have a life of your own when you marry a pastor. But today, the pastor's wives, at least, they are free to be themselves.
In what way?
You know, when you are a pastor's wife, the little thing, you are so for your pony. That one is just like for somebody whose parents are pastors.
Okay.
Everything you do, also for Bamponi, you that your parents are pastors, and so it happens to the wives as well. They keep measuring you by your husband. They just don't want you to leave that.
Yes. In fact, that is ministry. Anytime you're a pastor and you get married to someone, in fact, you have become one. Okay.
Yes.
So your likes,
automatically,
your likes and your behavior,
it should line up.
it should line up. But most of the time, because of that kind of fellowship that the two of you have, it becomes as if you are behaving the same way. Yes, it happens in ministry, but not everything entirely. But you become one in a certain way. Yes. So there are certain ways you would think the wife would think the same. Yes, that comes with fellowship. It doesn't just happen when there's peace at home.
Mm-hmm. And there's a rub over.
Exactly. So a lot of things happen in marriage. Trust me, marriage is marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage is marriage. Although we are in ministry, it doesn't necessarily mean that because you are in ministry, your marriage will work. No, it's a lot of hard work here. Yes, you must be able to love your wife, respect her for whatever she's doing, the sacrifices, so many things. And as pastors, our wives sacrifice a lot, especially young pastors, because it's like we are now trying to look for where we are going, and you are following us.
You have not landed yet.
Are you getting the thing? So if you get people like that follow you, you must really respect them for that. You don't take them for granted. All right. So it's one of those things. As a young minister, if you are marrying, I mean, you don't take your wife for granted.
You should be careful who you choose.
Yes. You need
So apart from the commitment to, first of all, to God and to the man, I mean, the calling upon the man of God, what else should she possess?
As in the lady?
As in the lady, yes. Most of the times,
You see,
the guys...
You need to be
come in
submissive,
choose.
okay? Well,
Okay.
submission, like I said, you need someone who is closer to God. And his commitment to God will bring the submission. He will understand that this is what I must do. By reading the word, he will know that, okay, I'm married to this man, and he's a pastor. He knows how pastors are. In fact, you must know. It's not like you shouldn't be ignorant of some of these things. You must know what a pastor's wife should do and not. All right, by the word. Okay, and understand that where I am coming from, this is my role as a wife or as a husband. You must know. You must know. So you don't just wake up and think that because you are marrying a pastor, things will be rosy like that. No. Yes. So you need to. Don't always also think that because you are married to a pastor, then you are free from the devil. No. It doesn't work like that. In fact, when you are even married to a pastor, that is where more challenges
Makes it
happen.
more challenging.
So
you need to sit up. You need to pray a lot.
Exactly. Remember, you shouldn't stop praying. Don't stop praying.
Because if the devil doesn't get your husband, he will try your side and see.
Yeah, if
there is an opening there.
Yeah, the easiest target you can ever get. Yeah, so I think ministry and marriage has been quite.
You are yet to add a child to the ministry, marriage.
Yeah.
Then you blend the three and see.
I tell you, the way I'm waiting.
You can't wait, eh?
Can't wait.
Whoa.
Oh, but I think it will be a nice thing. Okay. Yeah, it will be a nice thing, and I don't see too much challenges with that. You know, because we've been planning, so I think things will be okay.
I see.
Yeah.
Anyway, tell me, what do you have burning so much on your heart that you want to do for God? Probably that you have not done already. You still want to do that, and it keeps burning on your heart.
So,
okay.
I want to win more.
More so. Yeah, there are still a lot of people
In
out
fact,
there.
as I'm sitting here, you give me money. I'm going to see. Yes, I think that's what is burning in me right now. That if I'm able to get some funds and good funds, I mean good funds, I'll run a lot of crusades.
Whoa.
Yes. I think that's the burning desire right now, so that people can be saved. So right now, somebody gives me money. Crusade though.
Sharp.
Yeah, and I like building too. I like building. I have this thinking that even our place of worship must be a nice place.
Of course.
So that God can. Yeah,
yes.
I mean, I have that perception.
The way you have time to put up your own building with a lot of specs, you should have same for God's own abode.
That's what I think.
And that's how it should be.
We
sit in the best of chairs at home, and then we come to church and we think that.
Exactly. But the focus is so. And it has always been. I like people. So anytime people are going through challenges, I have that burden. I wish I had to give to them. Yes, and since I came, I think the little I have, I'm able to, help the few that I'm able to help. Okay. If it was money, it won't come.
Exactly.
We'll stay in Accra.
Of course. You wouldn't even have left your job in the first place.
That's it. So my focus has always been people. I'm always getting close to the people. I want to know what's wrong with you. And quite a number of the people are not even working. So you help them.
Has your faith been tested so badly before?
Oh, several times.
Can you share one of the experiences with us?
Okay. When I was prayer leader on campus, I used to have a lot of girls who come around me. And the way they behave and other things, trust me, the temptation was great. Because on top of it, I was a program rep. So you know all these Nigerian girls, that was
all over.
Come to your hostel, now the peacekeeper, So it got to a point, if you are not careful, your mind, you will think that, oh, they like you. So they also fall for it. Trust me, it's one of the most. In fact, one of the temptations I never liked.
With the ladies around.
Ladies around. Yes.
Are you a ladies' man?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Are you sure?
No. I'm not. Maybe in their minds, but I
Not
probably with the kind of person I was in mind. Yeah, maybe you can approach me. That was those days. I don't talk too much, so over kind and if you say we are Christian, but we were not. It's just that we were staying out because you can't just misbehave. So I think many of the ladies, they understood.
How is ministry incorporated?
Ministry in Kumahlor. Hi.
Kumahlor is a very tough place.
My God. But I think God has been good to us since I got back. I think God has been good to us. I would take that. He's done great works in that place. Although it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
There are quite some challenges that have happened, but I wouldn't want to share that one. So, but by God's grace, we are okay. Ministry in Kumahlor, everything. I think there's more room for improvement.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot of it. So,
who is your role model?
A role model.
Yeah.
Like, my Archbishop.
So apart from Archbishop, do you also have another, say, Minister somewhere, somebody somewhere?
I have a lot of them. I listen to.
Okay.
So let me say, I listen to them.
Okay.
But in terms of room advice, man.
Yes, yes. Why do you love your Archbishop so much?
Oh, why do I like Archbishop? After my Archbishop, in fact, I love his ministry and his way of thinking. Okay. He's a man of integrity. All right, and he's a man who understands what he's doing. Okay, and that is the kind of people I like. When you understand what you are doing, you are very focused. You don't talk much. Okay, but you see him doing what he's doing. Yes.
What's the vision of your church?
Our church. The vision is to win souls.
Okay.
Go on evangelistic activities, things like that. I'm not quoting it, but
yes, of course, you shouldn't be quoted. At least a fair idea as to what the vision is. Because I'm sure it's made available for all pastors so that you can walk in that vision, work towards.
So it's to reach out to the world, our communities, reach out to the neighboring. So that's the focus. The focus, in fact, our church, the focus is so winning.
Okay.
Because that's what our Archbishop started with. Crusade.
Yeah, he did a lot of crusade.
So through the crusade, and the miracles happened.
Yes. So a lot of miracles.
The focus is not on the miracle. The focus is on the soul. The soul. And he's so passionate when it comes to soul. Trust me. Every prayer meeting he called. So there was a time he called for a prayer meeting, myself and a few other people. his office, we were praying. And for almost like 5 hours, 6 hours, the prayer was just for, it's one prayer topic. Okay, for so.
Wow.
And that's it.
He's passionate about
Yes,
that.
he's very passionate about it.
So you see, sometimes it's disheartening when you see people not just knowing anything at all about Christ. They seem to be losing it all. And sometimes you don't even know what to do for them. You say this and they say the other thing. You just want to explain to them, and for the challenges they're being through, they just don't want to come to the platform where you are to understand what you are saying. So you realize that we still have thousands of people out there whom we need to reach out
Oh, yeah,
to.
yeah. After thousands, we have them, but you know,
Yeah,
that is how
yeah.
come we have all been called to do this.
Yeah.
All right. That is why I was telling you that we need people who follow
Hmm.
to do this work. If you want to go and start your own thing, you know, there are men that have gotten to a certain level where when you hear their name, people, you know, you're not going to start the thing. I bet when you start your own, maybe before you can gain grounds in ministry, maybe like 10 years.
Yeah.
Yes. It depends on your ministry. You know, a pastor like Pastor Elvis Ajima,
Mm-hmm.
who has started Alpha Hour. Okay. Recently, I think his ministry is at 6 years or something.
Oh, okay.
All right. You see, I see how his
How
ministry
he's
has
moving.
exactly. So it differs, but the struggle he has gone through.
You have no
You
idea.
have no- a place like Ofanko Barrier, you don't know what is there. So if today people are hailing him and he's on
And you
social
think
media,
he just started in a flash?
no,
No
it doesn't
way.
work like that. These are people, they pray, they pray. I'm telling you, they pray. You know, Prophet Nana say, you know, Prophet Nana say,
No.
is that Prophet
Yeah.
is a mute. Prophet.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
that Prophet.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are men, they pray. That's what he can do 100 days.
100 days was
After the 100 days fasting. After the 100 days, no, when you met near the 40 days at once.
at Waso.
I'm telling you.
And that's how the half of the year they are fasting and prayer.
These are ministers that don't really come into the light like the way we
Yeah.
want. But when you go there,
When you see the kind of things he's doing.
the state, Hotel City, when you go there, it's a whole community on its own. But you see, it's down. Yeah. It doesn't come out, you know, it's not all over everywhere. So we have men that are really working, like our own father,
Yeah.
Apostle George.
He's
See
doing
the way he's
well.
working. He's working though.
Really.
Yes.
Really working. He's
Working.
really working.
But because of social media, if you are
Yes,
not,
yes, yes,
if
yes.
you're not
That is
there,
it.
if you're not there, they think that
If you don't have the crowd
Exactly.
and we don't hear about you, then it's like you're in the darkness.
I know ministries that are very few, but they're on social media and they look like
It's as though
go and visit them and see. You go there and tell it,
that's what I saw.
because they have dressed the stage very well. So that's where they take the space from. You know.
Yeah.
Don't you have some of these TV stations?
Here,
I mean those the ones on our
the multi
multi
TV,
TV.
1001 of them,
Yeah.
and most of them
a
are
church will
owned
be,
by
a church will be under
churches.
a tent and they have a TV station.
Yes,
You know that.
most of them.
You know, it's one of the challenges. So
Anyway.
let's focus more on Christ
Yeah.
and then get the people to understand what we are doing. It's more important. All right. That is how come I love my bishop so much, because he teaches a lot of things and make you understand that what we are doing is because of the Lord, not for your glory.
Not at all.
So, but what has happened is that many are doing it for their glory.
Yeah. Instead of attributing it to.
It's the only way that will make you go and start doing it.
Exactly. Otherwise, you wouldn't have so much problem.
You see, this place is a
following
big
somebody.
place. So Apostle George is okay. That's why he left food and came here. Okay, so he has done. Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
If you are talking about one of the big churches in Tafo, first part.
Yes.
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 You know, if he was in Kumahlor, he didn't that. So he moved to another place.
Another place where
to dominate there.
he can also.
That is how it's
do.
supposed to be. And many are running competitions in Accra. So yes, serious one. This is so.
Well, all
God
too
help us.
soon.
All right, we are ending.
Oh, it's as if we just started.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the conversation with you. But before we go, give us your final word, your advice to our viewers, our pastors out there, and if you have any appreciations to do, you can do all that.
Okay, so I think for our viewers out there, all I want to say is that we have been called, to do ministry. Every one of us. It's not just pastors. No, we have all been called to do ministry. All right. That we need to understand that where we are is not where we are always going to be, and that there's a day coming that we are going to leave this place. All right. And so there are things of eternal matters that we must pay attention to. We shouldn't live our life as if
there's nothing at stake.
There's nothing going on. All right. Things are happening. All right. So my only advice to viewers right now, as it is that they should hold on to their faith and not leave the faith because of a certain doctrine they had. All right. These are the days that it will be very tricky. If you are not careful, you will think that even the Bible is a storybook.
Yeah.
And we have people on set who take camera, put on them and explain and tell us that we are reading nonsense.
Yes.
Yes. And that is what the Bible has told us, that the word will be like foolishness unto them. They don't understand.
Yeah.
Okay? Yes. And you can't serve God with your senses. Yes. You need to be very abnormal to
understand the things you are told.
Yes. So my advice to viewers, they should learn more and get closer to God. Intimacy is more important. I think that would be the only advice. And also I want to appreciate our old father, Apostle George, for this opportunity. And wherever my Archbishop is too, I want to say thank you for grooming some of us to become what we have become. And also Bishop Raymond Aqua, who is our administrative bishop, is one of my mentors. So I want to appreciate him wherever he is. And God bless the team over here too, for making this possible. Thank you. I want to say to my church people too, who are watching me, that I told them in church today that I was coming. So they should watch.
They should watch.
If I go and they
didn't watch. There will be fire on the mountain.
Wednesday will do 3 hours. That will be their fans. Oh, that's just by the way.
Yeah.
But I thank God for their lives. Since I go back to Kumahlor, I think they've been so helpful when it comes to the work. So God bless them. God bless our motherland.
Thank you. Looks like I have some messages here. Let me pick them before the viewers beat me up. Okay. This from Reverend Ivan Sagbenyega. The beginning of a great man is not very great, but the glory of the Lord makes the end great and better. And this is the story of Reverend Wisdom. God bless you.
Wow.
Wow. Very inspirational message from Reverend Wisdom, and that is destiny. Okay. Destiny. Wait for them to see that I have some other messages here as well. And this is from Ella. I will not give up because Christ in my vessel. I can smile at the storm. Of course, Ella, you can smile at the storm. And Joanna, you are doing very well, sis. So proud of you, dear. Thanks, darling. I am grateful. And on this note, I've been in the studio here today with Reverend Wisdom Kumahlor, the resident minister, Paris Chapel International, Florida. I have been very blessed by his life, and I know you have been blessed too. He has shared very serious issues here with us today, the ups and downs, the rosy ones, and I think has been a lot of blessing to us today. And to you, my viewers, I want to say thank you to you once again, because without you, I cannot do this successfully. So I am grateful that you always tune in at 4 p.m. on Sundays to watch me live. God richly bless you. And to my technical team, Dada Chris, Sister Jane, Lily, Reverend Agbenyega, I say I am grateful to all of you for always being on point for me to do what I love to do best. And to Apostle George Tumesi Ankra, Papa, we are grateful for all that you are doing for us and to your love. Lady Reverend Irene Tumesi Ankra, we are grateful. God bless you for always being there for Papa and helping him do all that he's doing for God. We are grateful for your life. Make a date with me same time next Sunday. It's been me, your regular host, Matilda Sai Moto, and it is bye-bye for now.